You want the shout out, Captain? I like that beat. It's already in the app, actually. What's going on? After this one tonight, I'm gonna come up with some like lottery system, like people have been asking for a while. Instead of just being open like 10 a.m. to then it's full by noon, switching the game up. So no longer will it be first come first serve. No longer will it get crazy backed up. It's gonna be more up to chance. Hopefully Sunday. Well, not Sunday, but probably Monday. Hopefully I'll have it running by I'll have it running by the next one. So we'll have to see about that. Specifics I don't totally know about yet. Get started. Shit, I forgot to start that. Let's get the bombs ready. Can't forget those. We're in the reptiles. This one is named Chip. He's a 400-year-old iguana. Anyone know what he likes to eat? Oh, yeah. You in the front. Pine needles and salsa. That would be correct. First up, there's one I accidentally didn't get in the queue. Screwed up his submission last time. This is Carlos Compton Field. He's cracking it off before we jump into Grand Riggedy, so let's hear this. What up, Christian? What up, Rhombus? What up, Big? Jackson? Yeah, that was complete. Starting off. This is Compton Field. Yeah, Carlo. Right off the bat, use a lot more snare. Not in charge of that. Seems a little squashed to me. Like, just use more snare in general. That snare that everyone uses is kind of weak. Seems like there's too much going on. Yeah, this is pretty loud. Like a lot of these sims seem to be sort of playing shit. Just to kind of play shit. Not bad. Like you've got low end and like you can comprehend what's happening here, but it doesn't seem like there's much focus to it. Kind of like the melody doesn't have much of a purpose. Uh-oh, we got the halftime breakdown. Drop a frame. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did I drop frames? Dropping hella frames on Twitch, apparently. Alright, yeah, so that's like pretty generic is probably what I would say. I don't know, I had to like do a semi-half quote about it. So like if you're gonna do sounds like that everyone uses, you're gonna wanna like have some intense like arrangement and composition to make up for it. And I'm not quite sure that did. I know for a fact that it didn't. So I would say focus on, you could probably get a little bit more punch out of your drums, and then everything else, just kind of try and be more creative, put more flair on things. All right, next up, Grand Riggedy. Flip the time signature on the sample. A little too messy, I think. And I don't like that hi-hat, that ride, whatever. Snares are okay, it's not the best. This is one of, I'd like this more than I'd like some of your most recent submissions, Riggedy. I think the drums you could go a little bit more like kind of dusty. Yeah, some of these samples. Like some of the rhythms are a little too weird. So I like that you did flip the time signature like that. I think you could probably chop it a little bit further, get a little bit more control, and kind of rein in some of that weirdness, because it is a little too weird almost. And some of the drum sounds worked, some of them didn't. I think you probably could have got a little bit more out of the kick, a little bit more out of the snare. And, oh, you can't hear me? Where's my shit at? And, you could probably turn up the, I'd probably find a different ride, hi-hat type thing. And, all right, I'm turning it up. God. It's going to be up now. Or rather, I'll turn down the beats. All right. Next up, Yay 183. Intro is gross. In a real bad way. Young Boat, I'll look into that real quick. That was a mess. I don't know what happened. That intro really set the bar off in a real weird way. Not huge on that. Not not too sure what was going on there in general. It's just kind of like a sample that was being chopped, and then the drums. I don't know. There was just that weird crash. I don't know. Wasn't a fan. Oh shit. Boat, I got you right up to this. All right, next up is Medsick DNK, Simon something, Trasm Mislaz something. Who knows what this is? All right. Old beat. Some things added by a friend, reproduced it. Let's hear it. This is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot going on here that I'm super into. Oh no. Alright. So that synth is really super weak. And I'm really not that huge on that sound. It just really doesn't sound that good at all. So oh, your boost should be showing up now if you go refresh, but I already applied it to the track, so don't worry about it. Just hold on to that one for next time. Yeah, that synth was definitely the weakest part. Everything else was pretty basic, like a little elementary. And the way you flip the sample, it kind of lost a lot of its potency, because it was like kind of chipmunked. I mean, obviously there weren't vocals, but when you pitch something up that high, sometimes you can lose some of the impact, and it kind of seemed like that happened there. So yeah, it was just like it fit with the sample, but the sample wasn't very interesting, and the drums were kind of lackluster. So not like awful or anything. Well, that synth I would lose entirely, but the rest was just pretty average, middle of the mall, if you will. All right, next up is Young Boat. Let me show you his picture, because I like it. Look at this art. The Titanic, but swirled. It's good stuff. Guitars, keys, or live instrumentation. Alright, the bass is a little overwhelming right now. The guitar sounds like it's out of tune if you played it yourself. The bass is like super loud. I'll turn that down. Lil Wayne guitar solo type beat. Yeah, Chax, you got it right. That's my shit on there. Yeah, the queue is open, but don't bother submitting. It's about to get nuked after this. We're starting fresh. Actually, no, the stuff that's in there now will be put in the first lottery system, so that's fine. I like the idea, like I like the keys, and the guitar could be cool if it sounded better. It doesn't sound very good. It's a little flat. Or honestly, it's just a little out of tune. It might be a little sharp, it might be a little flat. And I thought it was like saxophone at first. I think if you rolled off some of the low end of the guitar and brought out some of those highs, it might be kind of nice. The drums were kind of weak. And there was some like weird rhythmic missteps there. So I think if you were more straightforward with the rhythms and the drums, and then like pumped up the volume, for lack of a better term, and then the bass was just a little too overwhelming. So tone down the bass a notch, get some more powerful drums, and you'll be in business. Next up, we got River Cruise, aka the late River Phoenix, aka Thomathan Cruz, the great and powerful. It sounds like some old Rockefeller shit. So you've got like this swing on the kick, and then you have these like super straight shaker sounds. Going back and forth kind of works. That's sometimes it works really well. Here it doesn't work as good as it could. It's kind of a nice sample. The hi-hat, yeah, I don't like the hi-hat either. The sample's kind of nice. The bass wasn't the best melody. It wasn't like technically out of key, but the notes weren't the best notes to pick. Actually, it might have straight up been out of key. I don't know. I would scrap the bass line. And the drums you could kind of rework to have a lot more energy. They're kind of boring and straightforward right now in too much of a bad way, where it's just kind of, they're just on autopilot and they don't really seem to be doing that much. The sample's kind of nice, but I think it sets the bar kind of high compared to everything else, and everything else doesn't quite live up to that. Even though the sample, like, it was just your basic sample, kind of pitched up a little bit, it was still quality material, and everything else did not live up to that. This is Bam Margera, R.I.P. Don Vito. Yeah. That kick hits. It's got some weird frequencies in it I don't like. It hits way louder than the snare. Yeah, I mixed banana peels. Fuck that. Snare's super weak compared to that kick. I like the concept of this beat, but the kick is like too intense. Yeah, so the drums, the kick is like super, super intense, and it's got a lot of this weird, like, tonality to it that I don't like. It could be that intense if the rest of the drums were that intense, and then it didn't have any undesirable frequencies, but the snare was, like, in comparison, super weak. But I like the sample, and chopping it like that is kind of cool to delay. Unconventional, at least, so I'm into it. If you just found the right kick and snare, it could be nice, and if you really filled out that pattern in a nice way. But it does seem kind of eclectic at the moment. The new Knowledge album, I listened to the first couple. I listened to the first track. I haven't listened to the rest. I need to. Did I ever bomb Tassi? Nah. You guys better than I do. Why would I do that? Alright. Charkley sent in a VidMe. It's Kanye in a movie? I haven't seen this.
In Chicago, we had different kind of hustlers. And Kanye West in the comment. Now they did things with a little more finesse, you know, an intellectual approach. Yeah, under the umbrella, we call them trendy, fashionable thugs.
Shit. He looked at the camera. All right. Thanks for that. All right, next up is Shrine. Japan beat. Alright, it's missing. Yeah, these are kind of old. Yeah, I might have deleted some of these. Next up, Obstinate, Jacob Shord, Forest of Glass. 2 months old. It's a beat, it says. Damn, Concert Buzz got fanboys in the chat. These sounds are Sega Genesis sounds. This is like the Toe Jam and Earl remix. There was like Talkbox. Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm doing as many as I can for 9, because I gotta leave at 9. So let's go. Let's bury the classic Q in preparation for the new. This is K-Go, J. Corlive. The kick's a little too boxy. It's got some weird intense thing going on about it. I don't like these messy kicks. The mix is kind of fucked up. Yeah, there's something weird going on. The kick has got a real weird, it sounds like a boot kicking something. There's some nice chops. Where is it, Shrine? I'll check it out. Well, where to go if you have it? What's your SoundCloud username? There's some nice chops there. Some of them better than others. When the chops work, they really work. When they don't, it loses a lot of steam. So you're leaning real heavy on the chops. The kick's got a little bit of weirdness going on in terms of the frequencies. But there were some nice parts that I liked, but the mix, some people weren't huge on the mix. I don't think the drum sounds were as blended in. I don't think you filled out the percussion as nice as you could have. It definitely seemed stuck on, and there were some weird rhythmic things going on, and it didn't feel as complete as it could have. So, J-Boy, Sandurz, shout out. Nah, I'm not, Cavs. Not at all. I just quoted some shit. All right, next up is Big River. All right, Shrine. I'll check it out. This is Big R. Forest Hills Drive type instrumental. Let's see about that. Japan Loop, Shrine? Which one? That's Isley Brothers chopped up in a really slow ass way. Yeah, something weird's going on with Twitch dropping frames. I used to never drop any. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's using all my... I don't know what the deal is. Alright, yeah, this doesn't really sound like Forest Hills Drive at all. Like, it's kind of cool sometimes to revisit some old samples, but I'm not huge on that one. So, I mean, it's a good sample, but like flipping it like that, I don't know. Like slowing shit down in a real heavy way can be cool, but That one didn't have too much else going on. It was leaning real heavy on just that flip like that. So, yeah. So I appreciate you tried to do that, but the drums, everything else just didn't really come together as much as it could have. All right, this is Shrine, Japan Loop. Thanks, Chewy. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a riser, not big on it. You made a big deal over this. Your lone tag on SoundCloud is terrible. The synth. Ugh. That tempo, if you had gone halftime, it maybe could have worked. If you had had big enough drums, then halftime could have maybe have worked. The synth was like the first preset in silent, I'm pretty sure. I never said it wasn't bad. Yeah. Not huge on that. Drums were super weak. The synth was annoying. Sample could have been cool if you flipped it in a better way, but that tempo just did not work. This is Cole. What the fuck is this? Sounds like a Coley Calais song. Cat Stevens beat with bass. No thank you. No. Do not fuck with. DNFW. Alright, next is Up NMA. Reap is what it's called. Soundtrack to The Bourne Identity, but the one without Matt Damon, or like the new Hitman game or something. This is real basic. It's a clock. It's like Big Ben chiming and footsteps in the Tower of London. This is like weird atmosphere. Sounds like Drop It Like It's Hot. Snoo. Okay, so you try to do some atmospheric shit, and then you tried to. So you have like these sounds, these tonal atmospheric sounds, and then you're putting like other melodies on top of them. I don't know if that really works. Bass was a little too boomy. It was kind of like it kind of had a cool groove, but the mix was just kind of blown out, and the bass was overwhelming, and we never really went to the moon. It was a conspiracy. Okay, next up, Byzantine King Plank. My favorite trend. I still do that on Instagram all the time. Shout out to his SoundCloud avatar, Tommy Wiseau. Bullshit. I did not. I need to watch The Room again. What'd you do to the sample? This is like you're satirizing lo-fi. I can't hear the sample. Like, what happened? Like, what were you doing to the needle on the record player when you got this sample? All right, come on. You know you can do more than that. All right, next up, Pinball Spider. He's a pinball spider who likes to spin a web. Coagulation. Mood music. Mood music. Oh. Is anything gonna change? It's the trailer for the new Independence Day movie soundtrack right here. Or a trailer for some new young adult thriller where someone says, "Get in the car. We gotta go." This droning note is so incredibly loud that the drums are just minuscule in comparison. These drums are so underwhelming. I thought you were gonna go halftime with it. Or this needs to be faster. Tomb Raider, the Cradle of Life. In theaters. 4404. Oh Jesus. Alright. So the start of that was kind of cool and could have gone somewhere nice, but the drums were super weak. That tempo, if you had sped it up and done halftime, it could have worked, but that tempo just did not work with those drums. All right, next up is Martin V, or Martin the Fifth. Who could ever know? Eve 4. This is Martin Valencia. What the fuck? So you're just switching it up to switch it up with the hi-hat? Or was that an accident? Your volumes are all over the place. This sample's real weird. Volumes are all over the place. The drums are super weak, and the rhythm on the hi-hat switching up like that, I don't really see the point outside of doing it just to do it for yourself. It didn't really have much vibe to it. It kind of did at first, but some of the reverse stuff was no good. Some of the samples were no good. Oh yeah, I did. It's dangerous even offering. If I've ever bombed you, this probably does not apply to you. You can submit, but the chances of us using your beats are very slim. But you might have seen me talk about that new app called OffTop. If you have beats that aren't bullshit, if you have finished beats, if you've had a SoundCloud for at least like 18 months, then this applies to you. You can submit beats for consideration, and you got to look up the app in the App Store, make an account. Once you make an account, you can go to offtop.co, go up here to producers. Here you can log in with the accounts you made, submit some shit, submit like 3 beats. It better not be bullshit. It's not guaranteed they'll get into the app by any stretch, but I did want to let y'all know I know y'all love to send beats to people on the internet, and some of those beats are good. But if you want to get beats in this app, if you want to check the app out, go do that. I meant to let y'all know before, but now you know. All right, next up's Elliot. Don't let me down, Elliot. That's true. I have. If I've bombed you in the past week or two, don't submit anything. I kind of like this, but I kind of don't at the same time. I don't like that bass note. This could kind of work. But there's some extra stuff in the chops that kind of clutters things up. If you could like boil this down to just those chops and kind of build the right melody around it. That like synth that's coming in. So that synth that's coming in with the heavy modulation, that needs to change, because right now it seems like it's all the same chord, because that just doesn't change. If you could build some more chord progressions around that sample and filter out some of the extraneous stuff, could make it work. And as it is now, it's a little, there's like too much going on. I kind of like the idea. I hear something nice in there. I don't know if it's there right now. But I think if you cut it down to some other shit, cut out some of that extraneous stuff and kind of found the right chord progression, it could work. Next up is John Beats in the widest. I'm not allowed to preclude people from submitting bullshit. Exactly, Captain. That's where you'll submit them. Ooh. No. Oh, the app's called OffTop. It's like a freestyling app. High flowing beats. On Android and iOS, you can check that out. The bass is way too much right now. You can see the difference over here. Before the bass came in, now the bass is in, and it's like doubled in height. It's way too much. Like this. Do I have a stake in this app? I mean, I'm on the team. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, the bass is too intense, that's for sure. There's like some kind of nice stuff going on. If the drums were a little more, if it was just like, I kind of like the chords and stuff, but on the whole, it didn't really do too much special to like really draw me in. I think the groove could have been a little better, and the bass was just super overwhelming. So I think if you kind of found the right tempo, you could make that work. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, next up is Where Did My Dog Go? Bassoon. What the fuck is this? instant bomb for the bassoon. Alright, next up is JD. It's called Fiends. The Others. Let's see where this goes. This that old man, something we could feel like it's old brother from the delay is a little bit extreme. The intro was long. This sample is not very good at this point. Now you got the classic OVO bass. I love Gandhi type beat. These drums are super elementary. The sample's not as dope as it seems at first. The bass or the delay on that snare with the like those extra hits. You just can't hear what's going on. There's just not enough detail in that sample to like really turn it into anything. You really have to like use your imagination. And a lot of the drum sounds didn't really fit. Yeah. Jesus, why is your shit pan? It's kind of dope. Why is it pan so hard? I monoed it for me. It's not mono for y'all. That bass is super boomy. I'm on SoundCloud. Yeah, I'm Sandurz on SoundCloud. The bass, I don't know about the bass. I don't know what. What's with the panning? Oh, it sucks. The panning is stupid. I don't. How does that even happen? When like, what are y'all doing? That you do that with your stereo imagery? I don't like. That's not an accident. So what? Like, what is going through your mind when you think I'm gonna put all of my piano in this channel and all of my like weird vocal stutter in this channel just because? Like, what's the methodology there? I don't get it. All right, next up is Milio Music. New to the whole beat production thing. Probably the 4th or 5th beat I've made. This beat could play over like the montage in the Tom Hanks Meg Ryan movie. So rigid. Yeah, this doesn't have a lot of bounce to it. Pretty basic sampling and drums and stuff. Like, it's almost like an Amy Winehouse demo with no vocals. And it's like the general MIDI version before they actually get it arranged. Like, it's not a bad sample, but it's just like kind of goofy. Like, that tempo is just kind of silly. Like, it doesn't sound bad, but it's just pretty basic, right? You've got the sample and you've got the drums, and that's all there is to it. So see what you can do to sort of put more distance between the sample and your beat, because they're kissing cousins right now. You got to separate that. Spread out the family tree. All right, next up. Boo and Hiss. Our next up is Zorro. Who the fuck
What am I
knows?
supposed to do?
What do you think? You can do anything, you lucky bastard. You're alive. What's a little pain compared to that?
It can't be so simple.
What if it is?
It's like some explosions in the sky. Bullshit. I can see the music video for this song now. Some dude at like a second-tier state school. It's like a video he made in 2013. He's got like a Supersonics jersey on and some fucking plugs. Not too big, but like about the size of a Cheerio, because that's all he could handle. And he's rapping about like going to school. And it's a really touching song. That bass is straight up the wrong fucking note. Oh my god. Why? Bass is wrong. Why is the wrong? Oh, why? The bass was overwhelming and was the wrong note, so don't like that. All right, next up, Seymour Digwells. 13 more minutes. Cutting it at 9. Swiftly at 9. Yeah, it's me. That intro's too long. He's right. Like the sound textures here I like, even if they're a little overdone, but the like actual chops and stuff aren't that compelling. What's happening here? It just didn't hit very hard, and then it was just pretty basic, and it didn't have very much purpose going on. So it's all about, I talk about purpose a lot, but like if you listen to a beat and you wonder why the fuck did I make this, then don't send it to me. Then that's just a beat you made for like to practice. Everyone makes beats for their craft. You know, like best case, people should be hearing like 1/10 of your beats at most. "32 Keys mixed it up a little bit. Mix is way off, but I like the overall feel. Yo, 32 Keys. 32 Keys. The mix is all out of whack. The kick is super loud, and the snare and everything is like buried. There's a little bit more. A little bit more. You do have a point, Razzle Dazzle. So, like, I'm not saying don't submit it to me, unless I did say that. I didn't mean that. But don't, like, put it out. Some people's SoundCloud have, like, every beat they ever made. Don't do that. The mix, like, is all out of whack. If you could just kind of compress the sample a little bit and bring it a little more forward, that reverse sound. It's got a nice vibe overall, but the mix just needs a lot of work. This might be my favorite you've done, for sure. The snare is garbage. Yeah, so the mix and like sound selection, you need a little bit better snare, and the kick's a little too overwhelming. If you can balance the drums right, if you can bring that sample up, if you can maintain that vibe, yeah, the phasey percussion going on, High Flown likes that. I'm into that. The like hi-hats, whatever. It's like a drum break you chopped up or something in the background. That's cool. We just need more in the forefront too, because that's not cutting it for like the main sort of shit. All right, next up is Oz Music, the Wizard of. It's called Eradicate. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, this better be an instrumental. What is this picture? The Federal Reserve System. Upside down in the background. It's just super basic. The snare is really weak. This works better. That tempo just wasn't very good. I know the drums aren't going to hit that hard here, but if they did... This works a lot better, slower. The sounds are still super stock. And the snare is like... really, really weak. Yeah, everyone uses that same fucking snare. Ghetto X-Files type beat. The drums were pretty weak. The bass just kind of was there, but it didn't really add much to anything at all. All right, next up is Stu Moo. Yeah, so see if you can get some better sound quality on your synths and see if you can just step your drum game up a little bit. I saw Kevin. These drums don't really fit together. The drums just really are bad sounds. It's kind of a nice sample. The drums I like better when they have this feel more. But the drum sounds are like really just not great. The kicks sounds like it's got that like E drum kit sound, and the snare clap thing just is. Oh yeah. Why is the panning like that? What is it with y'all and panning? Stop it. I would disable stereo and y'all shit if I could. I would just go and sum everything to mono. That ain't right. The drums were just lacking all around. Alright, next up. Mkada. Let's hear it. Marco Voltio. Sandiggity told me to switch it up and stop making the same ratchet trap nonsense I always make, so this is something different. Oh, you mixed it up for real! Even if it's trash, it's a step in the right direction, right? Even if it is totally different, I gotta give you that. I don't know about the chords. The drums kind of got a nice feel to it. Like it's a little kind of that kind of dated West Coast sound. Like the West Coast imitation sound. But like the groove you kind of nail. All the chords and stuff I'm really not big on, like the melodies and shit. But shout out to you for mixing it up. So intense. Yeah, this is like Pimp My Ride. He drives an old ice cream truck. Supposed to have 8 tires. It's only got 2. Let's see what he's up to. So yeah, shout out to you for mixing it up. And the thing is, like, you don't have to stop making like trap shit. It's just you were kind of really going right into the same niche, the same corner every time, and you could stay in that lane but just bring in other shit. So shout out, like I said, about 8 million times in the past 2 minutes. Good on you for mixing it up. I think you probably could stick to what you were trying to do before, but just kind of do a little better job of bringing outside influences together and like synthesizing all that into something new. All right, this will be the last one. This is Nick Lopan, Hentai Daddy Kink. Jesus. Sampled beatboxing from an anime. The drums are kind of nice, honestly. Post a link to what, Bobby? Like, the samples and shit super basic, but when the beatboxing started, I didn't expect the drums to really kind of like come together. I think there's more you could do with the samples, probably, and more you could like layer in, but at the very least, somehow the beatboxing worked with the drums pretty well, and it was like the drums sounded like they all went together, which is an achievement, to say the least. That's been one of the big problems in most beats people submit, is that sometimes shit just doesn't go together, and it would be so much better if it did. But that's a wrap for tonight. For Sunday or Monday or whenever the next one is, South by's coming up. Beat Fighter. Oh yeah, we got the Beat Fighter finals, head to head, me versus Bureaucratic, Sunday. Might stream a little after that, who knows. And then if anyone's going to South by Southwest, Monday, Tuesday, we'll be at the Fader's Arcade event at the Fader Fort. OffTop's got a booth. If anyone's going to be in town, wants to come by that, we'll be there. Shout out to the Fader for getting us on that. But what else was I going to say? Kevin had something he wanted me to play. It better be a real beat. 4 minutes? I don't have time for that. I'll play it at some point, but I really gotta go. But yeah, I'll let y'all know when I'm streaming next. Well, I'm streaming Sunday for Beat Fighter. Maybe we'll do the new lottery thing beforehand. Yeah, so what I was thinking is, like, you could submit. So like if I stream on Wednesday, from the previous stream before that, it'll just be open all the time. It'll be open for like 4 days straight, from like if I stream on a Saturday, whatever, up until the next stream on a Wednesday. Right before the stream, I'll close it, randomize that, grab 30 of those. We'll do that, and that's that. And so it'll just always be open, essentially. And I'll just grab 30 right before the stream, and then purge the rest and start fresh for the next one. I think that's what I'm going to do. That sounds good to me. YouTube thinks that we've only been streaming for 36 minutes. In any case, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later. All right.